So, my air conditioning is pissing all over the floor. As you can see here, I got a catch tray below it just to keep the flood in my basement from, reaching epic levels that would ruin everything else. Um, Welcome to the Chris Camaro channel, the channel where all we want is for shit not to break for more than a week at a time. But when it does, I'm here to figure it out on the fly and give you bad advice for how to fix it without tools or money. So, just in case you don't understand what's going on here, this is probably a fairly common problem for a lot of people, but they may not understand immediately what's happening. So, the air conditioner is inside your furnace, and inside the furnace there's this thing called an evaporator coil. And the evaporator coil is basically the cold side of the air conditioner, because the air conditioner basically pumps heat from one place to another. So in order to get the heat out of your house, it has to pump it out, and it makes like a hot side on the outside of the house, where the heat goes, and then it has a cold side on the inside, which is this A coil inside of your furnace. And anybody who's taken a cold beer out on a hot day and gotten condensation all over the beer knows that cold surfaces tend to sweat. So the evaporator coil inside your furnace will sweat water, because the air in your house has humidity in it, and when it hits the A coil to cool down, it will sweat onto the A coil, and then all that water drips off the coil and has to be eliminated somehow. So the idea is that they've got this pan that drains into a hose, and then the hose goes to some drain in your floor. Every basement has like a drain, so you just like plumb this hose to wherever your drain is, and they usually locate that somewhere close to your furnace. So in my case, I've got this black hose that's draining into the floor underneath my washer dryer, and there's also this other hose that you can see in the top left of the screen there. That's actually going to my humidifier, and the humidifier doesn't work. I'm not using it. So basically you've just got what you see here. The water that's draining out of the air conditioner is going into this hose, and then it's going to the ground. But problem is, this thing that's dripping here, this is called a clean out. So it's basically just like an access port for you to like snake it out or clean it out, right? That's why it's called a clean out. But I don't have a snake tool, and I don't want to call Mr. Plumber or whatever to deal with this. I just want to get it fixed quickly and without a lot of effort or money, because that's how I am, right? I don't like to work to do shit. So I'm gonna come up with a better idea for how to fix this quickly, because catching all this water and then like not catching it in time and having it overflow onto the floor and make a mess of your basement, that's just not something I have time for. That's bullshit. So I just want to fix this quickly. So my strategy is going to be to isolate where the blockage is, and I think it's probably pretty close to where the drain is, because that's the part where the hose is kind of flat, not vertical. So you can imagine when your air conditioner isn't on, whatever water sort of stagnates in that flat section is going to just accumulate garbage and maybe degraded pipe material, dust, whatever, and it's going to create a blockage over time. So probably this is not the section I need to worry about. Probably the section I need to worry about is over here, or at least further off where I can't see it, and where I don't want to go through the hassle of accessing it. So I'm going to try to blow out the blockage, and then I'm going to try some other stuff to keep it clear. But first you got to start by disconnecting some of these hoses, basically. So what I'm going to do is grab this is a Robertson square head screwdriver, and these clamps over here are holding the hoses on. So I'm going to start undoing a couple of these so that I can gain access to the hose, right? So that I can basically just sort of disconnect the hose. And the hose is actually held together through these T pipe sections here, just by friction. Like, you can basically just reef on this and twist it until it pops off. So I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start disconnecting the pipe, and I'll come back and update you once I've done that. But basically, once you get this off, you can just sort of, you know, take that off for a second, whatever, and now you've got this available that you can just start, you know, twisting this off, and then you can see what's going on there. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got the first piece of hose connected. It didn't take a lot of effort to pull it off. It's very easy. And you can see it's dripping like a son of a bitch. So I moved the catch tray to collect the water while I work on this. You can also turn the air conditioning off, by the way, if you're smarter than I am. So now that that's isolated, I want to also disconnect the humidifier pipe, because I'm going to also assume that that's not causing the problem, since it's not connected, but it's just creating a leak in the pipe system, you know, because if I put pressure through here, it's just going to back up into the humidifier. So I need to remove that pipe and block it off. So that's the next one I'm going to pull apart, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back in a second. So I disconnected the humidifier line, and I'm going to plug it with a piece of gum. I find that spearmint works better than double mint, but let me know in the comments if you found a different flavor that works better. I'm always looking to update my knowledge. So I'm going to basically plug that up, and then I will secure it with duct tape. So give me a second to do that, and I will be back. Nice. Okay, now that that's done, let's go back over here for a second. So the next step is going to be to blow into that tube as hard as we can and dislodge whatever the hell is plugging it up. For that, I cut myself a length of rubber hose, and I thoroughly sterilized it with boiling water, because I don't want to get AIDS or anything. So, you know, make sure it's clean, and then just like duct tape the shit out of it. Okay, so this is more or less what it should look like when you're ready. You can see the tape job, beautiful tape job that I did there. So it might spray out all over the place, but you know, it really only has to hold together for a very short time, and then it's garbage. So I don't care. You know, you can put more tape if you want. If you don't have a hose like this, you can use literally anything that'll hold pressure. You could use a long straw. You could use another section of pipe from your air conditioner, although I don't necessarily recommend it unless you're really good at cleaning things, because look how disgusting that is. Use whatever does the job. And you should do this as hard and as fast as you can, because if you if you just blow into it really mildly or something, all you're going to do is force a leak, and you're not going to get enough pressure to dislodge whatever's blocking the other end. So just blow really hard and fast, like you're doing one of those pulmonary tests or something. So wish me luck. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, whatever the hell is blocking this thing, it's really blocking it. So give me a second and let me see how far I can get with this, and I'll get back to you. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Hey, if it'll clean the shit stains off your porcelain on your toilet, then maybe it'll do something good here. So I left this for a while to percolate, and then I came back and blew into it again, and something must have yielded because it's seems to be working now. As you can see, it's just taking all that water and just draining it like it should. So I guess Coke for the win. Anyway, combination of pressure and caustic fluids seems to have fixed the problem. I'm just gonna reconnect this here, and I'll fasten that up with my screwdriver later. But yeah, all done. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next Chris Camaro episode where we learn how to fix things the wrong way for cheap. Take it easy.